What's up, everybody? My name is Keilan Morrissey, and you're watching Keeping It Keilan. Today, we're going to be interviewing Fern of Social Club Misfits. All right, everybody, we're here with Fern of Social Club Misfits on today's episode of Keeping It Keilan. Fern, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. It's a privilege.
So, to those who don't know, Fern is a talented rapper and member of the Christian hip-hop duo Social Club Misfits. He and his partner Marty have been producing powerful music since 2012. They've released over 10 projects, and a new one is on the way. I've been a huge fan since 2016 when I first discovered you guys, so having you here today is awesome.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. Being here is awesome for me, too.
I appreciate that. So, I'll start off by addressing the new album announcement. So,
all right, let's do it.
Yeah. So, Loved by Heaven, Feared by Hell. I wanted to ask, what are you trying to express with this album, and what does that title mean to you personally?
I mean, what it means to me, Loved by Heaven, Feared by Hell, that we would always want to make the music that would be pleasing to our Father first and foremost. We address a lot of topics, a lot of stories, but ultimately, we want to make God proud of what we bring to the table, that it will be a pleasing aroma. You know what I'm saying? And Fear by Hell, well, at the same time, it's been pretty crazy season for a lot of us. And, at the same time, when the devil or when the enemy or however you want to say it tries to, remind you of your past and, whoa, this pandemic got you down or, what are you going to do now with no shows? We just remind them of his future, you know what I'm saying? And, we remind them, what he got going on. If you just read in Revelations, it'll tell you quite clear, what's awaiting for him. But so, fear by hell, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the demons tremble when we enter the room. That's how it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's going to be. We want to be pleasing to God, but we want to make the demons tremble when we in the room. But we always going to be in any room representing at all times. So we got to be ready for that. So
I like that. It's a very powerful answer. So
thank you, man.
Many of Social Club's albums have very different, very unique vibes. So I was wondering, which previous projects would you compare this album to sonically, or is it completely a new thing?
You know what, man? I wouldn't be doing it any justice to compare it to anything. Let's be clear. Like, a lot of our earlier projects, we had a lot of friends and other producers that produced on it, people that we love and we still love. But now, like a lot of it, even though we still getting a little bit of help from some other guys and some other dope producers that we love, Marty's taking the helm on a lot of the production, whether he starts the whole idea, whether he finishes it top to bottom. But for the most part, he took the production into his hands. And so, it's been amazing. So this will be the first, well, actually, there's Mood and Doom he did as well, but these are the first two projects that have been under that. So I would say, like, I still, we, like you said, 10, 12, 13, 14 projects, you count the solos, like, yo,
right.
I need people to know that there's like double digits in projects since 2012. But yeah, man, like, I feel like you can't really compare it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Yeah.
You can't really compare it because it's totally like, it's still the new innovation of us totally controlling the sound. You know what I'm saying? So even though like the misadventures of Fern and Marty, the super experimental, but like we really dove off the cliff there. If you notice, there was like a lot of tracks on there and we had so many different sounds and we created a lot of different ways where like Love for Real kind of, created the Caribbean wave for our Latin feel that would come on the next album. See, nobody really knows that. You're getting that leak right there. But there's a lot of little Easter eggs that we could talk about, but I wouldn't say sonically that it sounds like anything. This is probably, I want to always be able to say that every project is our best project. So this one definitely makes it very easy for me to say that. This is our best project, but I can't put any tag on it sonically because this is a whole new vibe. There's a whole new vibe again, and we're blessed to be able to bring a whole new vibe again. And it wasn't like no crazy pressure. It wasn't like, it was just what we were going through. We were pandemicked up, everybody, feeling a certain way, but we still had to get the job done. We still wanted to give the people some music and we still had to give the label some music. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but yeah, man, but we got it done. And, shout out my brother, Marty, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Marty's been killing it with the production lately. Did he did all
Yeah.
the beats on Marty for President too, right?
Yeah, yeah. He got his fellas that he collabs with, but he pretty much invents all that, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. So, speaking of Marty, I was going to ask you about the songwriting process with him. So, do you guys ever like suggest lines for each other or contribute to each other's verses? And do you typically write your verses separately, or do you guys often like do it in the same room if you're on the same song?
I guess to be politically correct in life, in our career, we have chimed in on each other's lyrics. Like, hey, here's an idea that has happened. Does it happen a lot? No. For the most part, we come from the generation where I like to call the do-it-yourself generation, where
Yeah,
2011, 2010, everybody had the home studios, starting to get the home studios really popping with the Fruity Loops. Was really cranking and everybody was really getting it going. So like we come from the generation, we always used to say, I got my shorts on in the booth. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
I'm in the booth right now. This is the booth. You know what I'm saying? So it's just been an amazing thing. We just been file sharing for a long time. And once we got signed, we started going into the bigger rooms, and Nashville and Capitol has blessed us with amazing,
Yeah,
super dope rooms to be in. But for the most part, especially during the pandemic, though, that's why it was kind of cool to have Marty create sounds. So it wasn't like people were sending us beats. He was literally still making them. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
So he knows the sound. He's the forefather of the sound. You know what I'm saying? Along with me. You know what I'm saying? So he anything he makes for the most part. I remember texting him before. I was like, yo, you could put 9 times out of 10. I'm gonna say yes. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like that. You got to give me the one. You got to give me the benefit of the doubt that I can not like one here and there. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Might have
Sure,
had a
sure.
bad day, but 9 times out of 10, he knows the sound. He created the sound, and so make a long story short, we've been together for many years doing this. But it's an amazing time, and I would
Yeah,
say that this new sound is going to be nice, man. I want to be able to say that. I don't want to say the word evolution, but what I want to say is that, like, without me really listening to too much radio, without us really traveling and getting to see culture and what we usually do to get inspired to write, we were
mhm,
able to do it and like put something together for you guys. You'd be like, nah, we couldn't tell nothing happened. This is
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
love it.
yeah.
But yeah, man.
No, I'm sure it's gonna be outstanding. I'm super excited. So that's
Yeah,
you're
we're
saying
loving it. The
there's
label's loving it. This is a fun fact that when you get your label hitting you up and like, yo, we love it. The label, because we're already letting them get the mixes in. We're
right.
getting mixes in, and so they're hearing
Sure,
stuff. And
sure.
they've been our team. Shout out Capitol Records and our whole team, from our promo team to what I'm saying, our digital team to the heads of it. Hudson and just people that we love. And Brad. It's just been an amazing time, and the amount of trust that they have put in us and have allowed us to just create, for the most part, it's just been amazing. So to, still be under them and, in a world where there's just so much uncertainty, it's been dope to have kind of something certain,
Yeah.
and just
Oh,
putting out
totally, totally.
music at least once a year, twice a year. That's been dope to do, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Most mainstream artists don't even have the discography that you guys have. I mean, it's just the sheer
I thought
quantity.
about it, man. There's a lot of songs, man. A
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. No, there's definitely can't be accused of not having enough music out there for people. So speaking of Capital, I was gonna ask, you guys were originally independent for your first few projects, right?
Yeah, for like
So
for yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So what are some of the primary differences between being signed versus independent artists?
Well, you know what? Like, make a long story short, like, I would say if you're independent, even right now, and you're doing well and you're booking your shows and everything's like pretty much running, you got your merch, you could be independent for a while. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of great examples of people who are independent, whether or not they had connections in the game, but, they were independent nevertheless, like Russ and all the other guys, even
Yeah.
though, like, you still got to know somebody somehow, but like, there's ways to really be successful independent and kind of like keep ownership of all your stuff. Not kind of, but keep ownership of all your stuff through
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
like TuneCore and DistroKid and all these other little, kind of independent, interfaces that allow you to distribute your music. So, but I would say that the biggest difference is that they just walk you into the bigger rooms. if you got it going on, you got some leverage and you got a couple things going on and you come to a corporate situation, you know, for the most part, they should be able to quadruple your situation because of everybody they know, but you're already bringing in some weight. You know, what I classically am known to be, one of the things I say is like, hey, what'd you bring to the table? And they know I'll say, I brought the table to the table. Like you know what I'm saying? You come with weight leveraged out, ready to make a deal. So that's what I would say though, you know, that the corporate can walk you into this. They can, you know, if you come ready to play, they can get you on the boots running. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, you know, you got your act together, you know how to do your social media. Because, you know, for the most part, there's not a lot of, I'm not saying there isn't, and God bless those who are, but there's not a lot of A&R and like going on and like talent, you know, development how it used to be. But there is some. But what I'm saying is for the most part, most artists are developing themselves on Instagram and, you know, their TikToks, everybody's doing their own marketing, kind of like still, it's like, it's do it yourself times 10. You know what I'm saying? When here we are 10 years later, 2020, 2010, you know, Instagram was really going hard and Twitter and you're spamming all your links and everything, you know?
Yeah.
But I just look at it like, it's just a great time, man. It's a great time for music. I'm really happy that we're getting ready to drop now in the fall, because I know it's been a rough year. And one thing I know about this album, and sometimes it was tough because, like, you know, Social Club, man, we're gonna talk about some issues, but at the same time, we like to bring happiness too. You know what I'm saying? Like we like to bring happiness, and there was some times, I'll be honest, like we were going through some stuff, or, you know, with just the pandemic and not being able to, just your mind in a whole different level than it was a year ago, you know? Being a father, you think of these things, but, you know, I just look at the music was able to, you know, be a source of therapy kind of per se. When I was writing it, I was able to get out of certain funks, you know what I'm saying? Because I was able to write myself out of it, you know, kind of like creating that, you know what I'm saying? So it was a beautiful thing how it was like a God wink. He allowed me to find my peace, find some joy. Even when I didn't want to write or I didn't think I could write it, I wound up finding and fighting through it. You know, so some of that is written on this album. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's written all through the pandemic. So written in our homes, you know what I'm saying? Really can't do much. Haven't traveled since March, you know, when we got back. So it's a whole new world, you know, like at the end of the day, you just got to adapt to it. And even though the world changed, you can't let it change you, you know? So
That's right. Absolutely. So yeah, this is a time for sure that people are going to look back on and study and be interested in for years to come, because it's just so unprecedented. Man. So, I mean, with the pandemic and with the whole like racial justice movement, what role do you think that music serves in the shaping of history in general?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's always been a voice, whether it's been for racial justice, whether it's been for religious freedom, whether it's been, you know, for whatever stance you have, and then you're a musician or you're a journalist, or, you know what I'm saying, you're an artist of some sort, you're a painter of some high degree. We've always used our talents to lift our voice, you know what I'm saying, and to kind of be loud if the attention is needing to be garnered, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times they look to the artist, even though we're just a regular guy, we're just God-given gifts, you know? If you notice, sometimes they hold us up to like the craziest standards. I'm like, yo, I'm just good at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just good at it, man. It's all God. I mean, I'm just regular. You feel me? Like I'm going through stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But does the artist, you know, get held to a different standard because you know, they have a gift and a talent, people look to them for their voice? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? They're like, that's the guy that raps, or that's the lady that sings, or that's the preacher that preaches. They have a voice, they must be using it, you know? So I know that that's really the standard to it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, for the most part. So
yeah, it was Andy Mineo said in one of his lyrics that the artist has more power than the politician, which is one of my favorite statements that he's made. I like that a lot.
Especially nowadays, I would think that, man, with social media, man, you know, the youth, shout out the youth. The youth is always going to prevail. But you know, they call it how they see it, and you know what, they dictate the culture. You know what I'm saying? So it really is like that. You know what I'm saying? Where as a Jay-Z could say something and like, you know, the youth are going to grab onto it. You know what I'm saying? Versus like somebody like a Trump or somebody like a Joe Biden say something like maybe they don't relate to him like that, you know? So it's just been a different time. Social media changed the world, you know what I'm saying? You could literally have more influence than a politician, man.
Definitely. Especially since just because of the biases that exist in our country, like the political landscape is much more non-diverse than the artist landscape. And so, with social media, with the entertainment industry, you get people from all different walks of life and, coming from different backgrounds, and you don't really get that in politics. So people do relate, I feel, more to artists and musicians for sure. So if someone, a new fan, listened to all 10, 11, 12, 13 projects by Social Club, and they took one thing away from it, what would you want them to take away?
I think that they would take away immediately face value, and I would love for everybody to say it as fast as me, is that we were authentic and we always gave you our hearts. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times, people look at, why y'all talking about that? Why y'all like, hey, listen, man, like that's what's on the menu. That's what's going on. That's what the people need to hear, or that's what this person who's writing it has going on, and he needs to hear it. Because some of the songs, you write them and you're like, dang, who is this for? Like, God, why you got me writing this story? This is mad personal. Why you got me disclosing this or this and that? But sometimes it's way past you. And then you'll be at a festival. Shout out all the festivals we used to do that we haven't been able to do anymore. And I don't know how meet and greets are gonna go moving forward, because it's gonna be a whole different world, my brother. But you would meet somebody at a meet and greet, and it'll be their turn in line to come take a picture with me and Marty or something like that. And then they usually get like a few seconds or a minute or something to kind of fellowship for a second and talk to us. Like, hey, I love your music, boom, boom, type. And they tell you their story. And then like, it hits you like a ton of bricks when you see a young lady at a festival and she's telling you the story, and she's like, look, and she's showing you 60 cuts. And she's showing you 60 cuts. And she's like, look, your music that night, she's shivering. Her dad's with her right there, and she's shivering. She's like, your music and the song, and allow me to just see things in a different light and things of that nature. And we've had that times. Like one of our first meet and greets was 2.5 hours. It's legendary. It was at Gateway Church in Texas. People still talk about it because we were doing a meet and greet for like 2.5, 3 hours. They're like, yo, you guys done? You guys all right? We're like, nah, we want to meet everybody. You know what I'm saying? But like, you hear so many stories, and it's like, wow, God, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Matthew West. He gets a lot of the stories for the fans and turns them into songs. It's amazing to hear what a verse that you didn't even know why you were writing it or why God had you writing it. And then you meet the truth and you meet the reason why, and they tell you verbatim and you see it in their face. And it's like, it's a crazy feeling, my brother. And so like, besides anything, like that's been one of the ongoing things that keep you pushing, like a song like Enough, where we wrote with our brother Austin French. Shameless plug, nominated for a Dove Award, you know what I'm saying, for Song of the Year. Let's go.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying? Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. If you listen to the lyrics, it's not like traditional rap music. To me, I call it, it's like, it's message music. Like it's message music. When we go to the radio, when labels like, yo, fellas, we need like 2 for the radio, man. Give us that Social Club magic. You know what I'm saying? For the radio. And that's, you really, I promise you, when I know it's going for the radio, man, you really know that the reach is going to be there. You really know that millions of people are going to be affected by this song. You always put your all into every song, but certain songs, when you hear them, and then like when they craft them in Nashville, they make them all cinematic. They send them over back. Shout out Tommy Prophet. Shout out all them boys out there, Jordan Sapp. They send them out all cinematic, and you got to be like, dang, you get in this mode. You know what I'm saying? It's been an amazing time recording some of those songs with those guys. But you always put your all into it because somebody needs all of it from you. You know what I'm saying? I promise you, there's somebody that's like literally counting on your voice, because your voice is the only one that they're going to relate to somehow. I don't know why, but God has allowed it that a person came up to me and be like, yo, Fern, I promise you, my brother didn't listen to nobody else but you. I'm like, what? So you really have to, like, if you get the opportunity, shout out to all the rappers, all the MCs that I know, that minister, that travel, that, have a platform and that have been able to connect with communities and followers. That's an amazing thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just so regular. It's like, it's like human currency now. You know what I'm saying? It's so regular how many followers. But, when I thought about it the other day, I saw my little 57 and I was like, you know what? That's a beautiful 57K, man. I got to really start appreciating it more. And I only bring it up because like, I kind of like, stripped it down. I kind of like took all the pictures out and I was like, it's just been so much on my mind. And I was like, man, but you know what? Like, I just feel like to all the artists out there and everybody going through this, like, you really got to push through. You push through this season, you'll make it through any season, man. So it's been amazing, man.
Yeah, yeah. And that's, thank you for sharing those stories of people who've been touched by the music, because I was actually going to ask about that, because you've said in
come on.
Yeah, you've said in other interviews, like, Social Club is like the theme music to people's lives. And I felt that personally because, I mean, almost every project I can listen to it and remember a specific time in my life where I listened to that, and specific events.
I love that, man. I love music that marks your life. I love that, bro.
Yeah. So
Thank
that's
you
really
for saying
cool.
That.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this album's gonna do it too. This album's gonna mark your fall 2020.
Oh yeah, it'll be the pandemic soundtrack.
Let's do it.
Definitely. So what would you like to see change in the rap game or even the music industry as a whole? If you could see it kind of go in a different direction or anything, what would you suggest?
Hey, you know what? I would just say, at the end of the day, shout out to everybody doing it, man. You get 24 hours in a day. And, the same way you see somebody blowing up that you wouldn't think of blow up, not because you didn't see their talent. It's just like you might see a comedian blow up that you've been watching for 9 years on Twitter, and then it just happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's rappers that I've been following forever, you know what I'm saying? They blew, boom, and it happens. Like, you just watch the grind. Twitter and Instagram lets you watch the grind. Can you ask it one more time?
Oh yeah.
Can you ask me again? I was gonna say it a different way, and I want to make sure I say it right.
No, I was just gonna say, like, what in the rap game would you like to see change, or is there a different direction you'd like to see?
This is what I meant to say. I really wouldn't want to change anything. I would just say that I would love for my Christian brothers to be able to get a better look on them. That's it. Sure. That's all I ask. There's a lot of great. Look, I'm gonna do it. I hope this interview goes viral somehow. I hope they can see it, because all I want to say is this. And they'll be like, "Dang, Fern showed love." That's all I want to do. Listen, I hope that blogs and journalists and, like, Charlemagne the God and Rob Markman and, like, all the dope bloggers, you know what I'm saying? Who am I missing? Like, anybody who loves hip hop would just put their eye on the Christian community, and you would just see that there's a plethora of beautiful talent, different layers and different stacks of talent, all types. And that's all I would say, because I would never want to stop. Nothing was going on. I would just want to be able to have my brothers be looked at. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop nothing. What's going to happen is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop none of that. How people be like, "Oh, don't listen." Listen, man. All I would say is, like, we need our Christian fans as well, to stream that music. I want to hear more. Like, it's so crazy how you don't hear Christian rappers, like, having billions of streams like that. You always hear secular rappers always billion streams, 2 billion streams, boom, boom. Like, I would encourage the Christian fan, please stream the music. Stream the music for us, man. Help us out. We get like half a penny, not even like a sliver of Abraham's, like, earlobe on that penny. You know what I'm saying? So we need all the love we could get the same way. And mind you, I know you streaming Drake. Shout out to Drake. You already know what it is. Like, the streaming Drake, make sure to stream the boys too. You already know what it is, man. So that's all I would ever say, man, is that, that my Christian brothers could get a good eye on them. That, that journalists and media could see them and see them the same way that they would see Rick Ross and respect Jadakiss and respect P. Diddy. Right. They would respect, Marty, and respect Andy, and respect myself, and respect, 1K Few and all my other brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that we would just get mind you, respect is there. I just would want a huge light on it. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot going on. No, it would be cool, that's all. I wouldn't change nothing. Just give us a look. That's it.
Yeah. No, that was a great answer. Yeah, I love that. So with the current technology landscape, with streaming and all that, streaming being like the primary method that people consume music now, how has that affected your distribution strategies and, like, your approach to music? Like, with Amazon Music, with Spotify, with all that, like, what's the best route for you? How do you look at that usually?
Well, I mean, usually, to be honest, we're blessed. Like I said, we have the record deal, so we have a digital team, and we have, different strategies. Which we have our meetings whenever we're gonna have an album rollout. We have meetings, the digital's rolled out, so we have all those strategies laid out. But for the most part, I'm seeing that having a dope playlist on Spotify or trying to get on these dope playlists like a Spotify, you know what I'm saying, or like a beast mode
Right,
workout
right.
playlist, like that doesn't hurt. Like even as an independent person, this can happen. There's ways to research. Like I'm telling you, like I've been able to mind you, I've been in the industry for a little bit now, but even before I got verified or even before I had a record deal or anything like that, I've always been able to find and research people. If I need to find them, you can DM them. The internet is a beautiful place. And if you come at it kindly and you come with respect and you come with value, the internet will be a kind back to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. So like obviously, you can build relationships and you have those things change your life. That's what I would say to any independent artist. You can meet a lot of these curators from Spotify. They're on the internet. Find out who they are. Start getting in their DMs. Like their picture. Hey man, nice jacket. You know what I'm saying? Like show love. Why you only gotta know him so he can play your playlist? Why can't you just be his friend and be his follower on hey man, I like your shoes, bro. Happy birthday. Mind you, he's the curator of the playlist, but you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. We got to see beyond the platform. We got to see beyond the blue check. We got to see beyond that. You know what I'm saying? We got to see people for who they are and, and let's do genuine work together. But even after the work is done, we treat each other with mutual respect as human beings, and just keep it moving like that. I like that clip. That's a great one.
Oh, that's a great one.
I like that. That was.
Yeah. Gary Vee was the one. He said that just leaving comments on people's posts, whether like even if you don't know who they are, right? You find them in your
you already
feed,
know.
Just do it. Yeah, just leave
that's
something.
That's where I get that.
Yeah.
My brother, listen, man, shout out to Gary Vee, shout out to Mike Boy. We've been blessed to meet them. We've been blessed to go to VaynerMedia. You know what I'm saying? They're aware of us. They're amazing people, but they taught that. They taught that blueprint, and that blueprint works. You come at it with kindness, then you really got to be some kind of jerk to not react with kindness back. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it works anyway, because if somebody's a jerk, then you know that now, and they're gone. You feel me? So to make a long story short, kindness never hurts, man. Kindness is the key. Absolutely. Shout out Gary Vee.
Yeah, because like worst case scenario, if you don't get a follow back or if you don't grow your base just from that, like you still showed someone else that, you still gave that to someone. So even if it's not reciprocated, it's still a win. So that's really cool.
Absolutely, man. You do the kindness for you. The kindness is for you and for your, you know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, like there's no greater feeling than the feeling of, just like literally having nothing, no weight, no longer holding on to. Like I ask God all the time, Lord, if I'm harboring any ill feelings, if I'm harboring anything, please, Lord, just like, let me get it out. You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, yeah, man.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you also, and this information might be out there somewhere, but I was just curious. When did you first meet Marty?
Let's do it. This is definitely out there. You know what I'm saying? But I met him when I came home from prison, 2010. My sister had told me about a radio station that I was actually listening to in the prison that I was locked up in. I could hear it. I was cutting hair. We'd stay up on Friday nights cutting hair for visitation. And so this little station would faintly come in, and it was hip hop. You could just hear that it was good enough for us to have something in the background. We're talking on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Turns out to be one night I get a real clear, and it's Christian. So, we always listen to it. And when I came home, my sister was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You should go meet that guy. He's, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he got something you want to rap. Maybe he got something he could point you in the right direction or something. And so I went over there, and in that circle of friends at that radio station, Marty was also friends with that DJ. It's DJ J Blaze from Miami. And make a long story semi-long, I met Marty at that radio station, and then we became friends from there. And, we started, relaying with each other, talking on the phone. He was doing a project with my brother-in-law, was mixing it for him. And I came home one day from work, and I was like, yo, I could do something on that. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hit up Marty. I hit him up. He's like, yo, do the hook too. And so I did the hook and whatever. So it's a song called Runaway on Please Don't Make Me Look Bad on his one of his EPs. But that's the very first song that you ever heard Fern and Martin. So
Dang,
that's a fun
that's
fact.
crazy. That's when Social
Yeah.
Club was born. That's awesome.
Runaway, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think if you and Marty had never met, would you both still be doing music today?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I had ambitions of making solo music, and he was in the process of already making solo music when we met.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I said, when I first did the first song with him, I did a song on his project that he was doing. So he
Mhm.
was already, pursuing music, and I was already starting to do my stuff. So I definitely believe that we would still be doing it. Did it change the trajectory and the total? Did it like wreck all of our plans as human beings of what we thought that rap career looks like? Absolutely. God took it and he rearranged it and still allowed us to have the desires of our heart, but in a way that was pleasing to him. So I
Yeah.
always was like, I know this sounds dumb, but that's fair. That's so
Totally.
fair, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so thankful. I'm always grateful. I'm like, yo, I get to rap, bro. I get to rap. I get to tell stories. I get to help people hopefully not lose like me by listening to the stories of the things I was able to prevail through or make it out of. And that's really the win, bro. Really the win. The win is to be able to help others and get those stories like, yo, Fern, when I heard that thing, I was able to help my brother, get off drugs. I was able to help my brother, you feel me? And in that night, his friend's car, there was an accident and his friends passed away, but he wasn't in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard all kinds of crazy stories from sad ones to joyful ones, but I
Yeah.
want to be able to, circling back like a Seinfeld episode, be the theme music,
Mhm.
and a conversation piece that always points to God.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you've referenced this period of your life as the lost decade where you
Oh, I
felt that you
like that.
were
You know that.
yeah, where you felt like you were misguided and surrounded by people who weren't influencing you in the best ways. So I was wondering, do you think that going through a period of being lost is necessary to find yourself?
You know what? I mean, that sounds good. I tell you what, I'm glad that audio bite exists. Someone's gonna, hey, that was a good sounding bite. I'll tell you what, like, but here's where I'm at. Like, I don't know, man. And you know what? Maybe there is definitely a process and a journey that everyone should go to. I wouldn't encourage everybody to actually be lost. That even
Mhm.
though we are searching, we don't have to consider ourselves lost. Lost is going all the way rock bottom and totally like not heeding to any kind of solid wisdom or advice that's right in front of you. You know it's
I
good,
see.
and you just gotta go crazy. Like that's what I did. My dad was a pastor. I had the best advice. I had the best, consultations any single time. I mean, he lived in my home. So
Yeah.
I would hope that even though you definitely have time, to find yourself. You definitely have to have time to, have a process, a journey. It just is like that, whether because you go from being 9 years old to 12 years old to 16 to 18. Once you're 18 to 21, 24, like those are huge. So many different things happen in those age gaps. You know what I mean? So like,
Definitely.
yeah, I mean, it's just a lot to it, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So you also said that back in 2005 you were signed to Sony. So
yeah.
how did that deal come to be?
Yeah, you know what, man? I was always rapping. I'm like, this is what I feel. I'm the best rapper that ever happened to rap out of Hollywood, the city in Florida,
Yeah.
because I have all the music since like 1998, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been in Hollywood all my life, and make a long story short, I got recognized for my talent, and hanging out with my friends, they got recognized too, and there was a thing going on at Sony Latin. They were trying to put together or trying to find the hottest talent in
Mhm.
Miami or in Florida, so because mind you, they didn't know that the reggaeton, that movement was getting ready to eat up everything. What
Yeah.
they were doing was hip hop, kind of Spanglish hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So they were trying to give that a go, but make a long story short, we tried it. We had a couple mixtapes we put out. We were signed and everything, but reggaeton came and it already had like big acts like Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, and like there was just like a huge wave ready to go. So it was already moving, and so it wasn't ready for that. But that's how I got signed. I was in the city. I got recognized. I got brought into the Sony building. You know what I'm saying? And they wanted me part of the project. You know what I'm saying? From putting in
Yeah.
so much work. I go to nightclubs, I go to open mics, you know, house parties, and we would rap. That's all we did all our lives. In and out of cars rapping. We rapped. It was like a boot camp. We rapped. That's all we did.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And you were
man.
back you were on the radio at like 18, right?
Yeah, man. Shout out DJ Laz, Power 96. I was on the radio. I don't know what my first thing was, but that's how I started. I started doing radio jingles.
Yeah.
So if the party was at Roxy's, and it's a live remote and it's free drinks all night and ladies get in free till 12, like whatever. The DJ would say, here, these are the specs of the party, and I want you to rap on this beat. This is the hot beat this week. Boom, boom, boom. And then so I would write it. I would like, you know, write a rap, or, you know, and he would give me $50 a spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how I started. And then like this was back in the days. I'm gonna date myself right here, but like beepers, I would get beeped. You know what I'm saying? From my friends, like, yo, I hear you, 96.5, 823, thinking about you, like my friends, my family, you know what I'm saying? We hear you. But yeah, man, I started doing jingles on the radio for live remotes. And then like one of my first national campaigns was like a Spanglish Starburst commercial with DJ Laz.
Starburst, really?
Yeah. Like
in
98. The campaign was called Juicissimo, which means the juiciest. But yeah, so I wrote, and it was my first paid thing, which made me a professional rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I became a professional rapper early, man. Thank God, man.
You think that if I did a deep search, I could find that Starburst commercial somewhere?
You know, hey, do me a favor. Could you do the deep search? Because I thought I was doing them. And I can't find it whatsoever. But the year was like 98, 99, 2000.
Okay.
Like between 98 and 2001, if you had a deep dive, and don't quote me on the year, but between 98 and 01, it happened somewhere.
Yeah. I'm writing this down. I'm going to try to find that. That's awesome.
Yeah, yo, dude. Oh, it was so fire. It played, this is all I know. It played for 13 weeks from like in the East Coast and the West Coast. I used to get the analytics and everything, bro.
Dang.
It was doing, it played for like 13 weeks. Shout out DJ Laz, put me on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's funny because, you know, I want to get into like film and writing and all that. And my first gig that I've done was in a commercial too. And so everybody, you know, has a starting point. And so hopefully it's all just up from there.
Let's do it.
Do you see rap as something that you'll one day retire from? Or are you like the kind of artist who's going to do it forever, basically?
Dude, hey, you know what's so amazing, dude? You laid that up so perfect. I was like, who would ever ask me that? Like, how would I ever get the chance to address something like that? And like, here it is. So look, here's where I'm at. I feel like being a father, the pandemic had really thrown a monkey wrench in the touring and in my career, but it's almost like it's almost like as a dad though, I got every single day that I missed, I got it back. I've been with my son every single day.
Oh, that's a great way to look at it.
5 months straight, every single day. I had to. I realized it. I was like, you know what, God, you gave me all the days back. And then now if we win Album of the Year and Song of the Year, he gave me the whole year back. Yo, it will just be incredible. Yeah, man. It would just be incredible. I looked at it that way, and I've just been trying to find silver linings and everything. I always try to find a silver lining in everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna tell you right now, I would love to retire and be full-time fatherhood, but we don't make enough money. So it's not time yet. It's not. Sorry, man. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, we don't make enough money yet, bro. We need like 2 more Dove Awards, this album, the next album, and then maybe. But you know what? Like I said, I'm glad you asked that because I feel like I got my computer right here with an instrumental. When I get off this interview, I'm gonna rap something. I already know.
Nice.
I rap every day. I rap every single day. A rap a day, and I send it to my friends. Every single day, I do a freestyle, and I send it to my friends. Every single day. There's like, since 2012. So there's like 2,000 unreleased. I promise you. There's like 2,000 unreleased Fern verses. There's like 1 million right now. Yeah, but it's true. It's true. My wife knows where they are. She knows it's all in different boxes. It's all set up in the different little folders in the little terabyte little storage thing. It's all set up, you know. And I just record every single day. Shout out to my producer friends, Cameron, my boy Elkin in the UK. They just send me beats every single day, and every day I wake up and I write 1 song a day. I just turned in the Social Club project with Marty. He's mixing it now. But I do a song a day. Like it's what I know. To be honest with you, like being a rapper, bro, I keep it 100 million. Being a rapper kept me recession proof, bro. Like I promise you, like, and just like keeping it real and being honest and just always being authentic and always telling my stories and always being Fern on the beat through the eyes of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just all I could do. You know what I'm saying? So that has paid off for me, and it has kept me recession proof. It has kept me, you know, I'm on a lot of cool projects with Marty. We're on a lot of cool stuff that's gonna start coming out. We've been in the game 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the new project's gonna be like we brand new again.
Yeah.
You know, and I love that. So God has really, you know, had his hand on us. You know, God has really had grace on us, favor on us. You know what I'm saying? And that's the most beautiful thing that I could say, you know, because like in this day and time, and they would try to keep you down and have you feeling down on yourself and like, hey, man, what's going to happen? I can't see. When's the new live event's going to start happening again? Nobody knows. But you know what, man? It's all good, man. I stay writing. I stay loving my son, my daughter. I stay chilling with my wife and just bettering our lives and just constantly I wake up every day and I go one step at a time, Fern. That's the newest thing. I really want, like, this got to be normalized. It's okay to take one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? With everything we got going on, my brother, you know, a lot of times I'll be like, you get overwhelmed. And it ain't like there's a million things, but there's a few things. You know what I'm saying? And you're constantly thinking about it. And my latest thing has been like, hey, man, Fern, one thing at a time, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to do the Twitch and I was trying to do everything, all that. I'm like, yo, I lost sight of everything. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, now you're doing nothing. So now, just so you know, you're getting an exclusive. Because I put out the podcast and we were going to Twitch live. But you know what? I like, for whatever reason, I was just doing too much. So make a long story short, and I'll say this on the show that, you know, we've decided to go 100% all in on the podcast. And so just focus on that and just get the interviews in and get the true hearts and get the good stories. And just like, let everything come. Let everything come. You know what I'm saying? Like I could record myself with the camera if I want to record myself on Anchor, doing my podcast, and there's the video. And then we go live if we want. Or like there's just so many things you could do, but I was getting caught up in all of them and doing none of them. You know what I'm saying? And
they just cancel each other out. Yeah.
It was like you put up a graphic and then like you do it for a week and then it's just like, you know, and I'm being super vulnerable right here so this can help somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of us are trying stuff in this age. We're home. Everybody's trying stuff. Everybody's going live. Everybody's trying to have a show. Listen, you're going to do it to yourself. You're going to really find out whether you have the discipline, whether you have the drive, if you're a hustler, if you decide to get into this media, if you decide to get into the arts, you're really going to find out real fast if you're built for it, because it all relies on you. You know what I'm saying? It all lays on you. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what this has taught me a lot, you know, where I wanted to try a lot of stuff. I needed to really slow down because I didn't realize how much I was actually doing already. I'm a husband and I'm home. I'm a father and I'm home. I'm a rapper with my buddy and I'm home and we're doing an album. Then I'm doing a podcast and I'm saying I'm going on Twitch with my boy Charles from New Zealand. And then I'm like, oh man. And it was just like, whatever. I probably could have did it. But it was just like, man, just chill real quick. Focus. Get this podcast going. But this talk was dope because I was able to say that. I'm glad you captured that. Like that was a real moment that happened. And this last week I was getting the clarity on it to just go ahead and do your podcast. It's okay to take one day at a time, my brother, and just go, you know?
Yeah. We all got to find that balance in our lives. Definitely.
Balance, man. Definitely got to balance.
Yeah. Well, I can ask you one more question if that's all right before we wrap up.
Whatever you got, my brother. I'm here with you, man.
All right, sweet. So, what do Camilla and Santino think of their dad being a rapper?
Hey, listen, I was doing it. Oh, it's funny you said that because right here next to me, you can't really see it, but right here is an elliptical machine. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? Like the kids, they don't get outside as much as they used to. So at least if we haven't been outside in a couple days or whatever, like we'll be on the elliptical. And so he was doing the elliptical and I was doing the freestyle. Because like even if he's playing Fortnite, I like to be next to him. Like no matter what, like I give him his little screen time, whatever, but I might be right there next to him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always looking for him. And like I was doing a freestyle the other day, I was recording it, and when I finished, he was like, Dad, that was good. Like I was like, dude, I was still recording. But he told me that, and it meant the world, like, because when I saw it, like it clicked. Because I'm gonna be honest, you know, a couple years back, I was like, who do you think buys you that? He's like, Mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, he's like, you don't work. I'm like, what do you mean? I always work. 'Cause I'm always home on the keyboard or I'm always out of town. But he was like 3 years old. And so he was always at school with his mom and he's seeing mom work. And he's like, Dad, you're always on the computer. I'm like, I'm working there. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, Dad, that was so good. And I was like, you get it now.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. Like you were saying, like it's a blessing, to be able to have that be your work where you're just having fun every day. Yeah.
And that's another reason why I said recession proof, not only because of the rapping, but because of the things that we do, like even yourself, which I'm proud that, look, you're recession proof right now. You're still you're even in the pandemic, we can still do stuff. Like if I had to do a liner for a radio station, I turn this little light on, I do my thing and send it. We could still work. You know, so we've been blessed, you know, so I really realized it and I had to really not take it for granted that I had the podcast and I have to really go 100% on it, you know, because I'm able to do it from home and people were like tuning into it. Yeah. So I feel like that's something guys really weighing on my heart to really go 100 on. And, you know, this season really taught me that, man. This season has really grown me a lot. But as far as my kids, it literally grew them a lot because I just measured Santino and he grew 2 inches on this whole pandemic already since March. He had a huge growth spurt. So yeah, man, to tie that all in, they love it, man. Cammy's been on stages with us and drinking daddy's coffee off his stage since she was like a year. She's been a Misfit baby. She's been out there on them tours, man. She's seen us, man. And so they love it, man. I'm just happy to be home. I got to be honest, even though it's a weird time and I don't know what's going on since I already figured out that it's not up to me because it's not. So since it's not up to me, I'm just going to maintain, survive, do what I got to do, take care of my family, and just take into consideration that I'm getting all those days back. And I thought that was an amazing thought. All the time I was on the road, I'm home right now, you know? So, but they love it, man.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, as a fan and as a listener, like, I love the songs that are about your family. Like, those are always the ones that, like, they feel the most real. Like, you can tell that's, you know, everything you're saying is just powerful.
When I was on the road, man, I used to always want to be home, man. When I used to be on the road, I'll be honest, I used to want to be home. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like 24 hours a day. You're on a tour bus for that 1 hour that you get to be with the fans. And
crazy
so
lifestyle.
The 1 hour, it was wild, man. You would catch yourself. You could fall into a funk, man. You could, you know what I'm saying? Like you could get a little bit depressed, you know what I'm saying? Being away from home and knowing you have to be away from home. So that's why you really got to focus in and really realize, like I said, you'll realize real quick if it's meant for you because you'll be able to persevere. You know, you'll be able to make it through.
Yeah.
Well,
Fern, it has been an absolute honor to have you on the show. Bro, thank you so much.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy because I know originally we was trying to do something with a movie. I still want to be in your movie. So I'm gonna say that here.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, call me, man. I got a song for the soundtrack and I'll show up for the movie, man.
Sweet.
For my cameo, you know?
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much. Well, I'll hit you up about that. Hopefully we can do another interview sometime. It was a great time.
Man. Anytime. It will be an honor to be on your program, man, or any interview on whatever platform it is that you put it on. I want to be able to share and I want to be able to like give out my story or give out wisdom or give out game to not only just big time bloggers or just big time interviewers. I want to be able to like, this is culture to me. This is culture to me. You know what I'm saying? Up and coming journalists coming from the mud. This is what I want. This is what I want to be able to give a story to. So, you know, anytime you need anything, brother, hit me up. When you get that movie going and we get to go out there a little bit more, hopefully we could work on something, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And if you ever need any filming or anything, then let me know. Because
I will need it, bro. As soon as we get it, as soon as we all start traveling again, I'm sure we'll link up, man. Where you at? What state are you at? I'm
based in St. Louis right now. St. Louis.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll get out there at some point, but we'll see each other. We'll talk before then.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I hope you're having an amazing day. And
bro, I hope you can turn that into something. You're gonna edit it a little bit, right?
Yeah. It's gonna be cool. All right. It's gonna be cool. Yeah.
Send it to me. Hopefully, I gave you enough, data.
Absolutely. No. Yeah, you gave me plenty. This was fantastic. Thank you.
All right, my brother. Hey, send me a copy when you're done. I'll post some of it.
Yes, sir. Sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Or if you make a dope, the one of those little teaser clips that I can put up.
Oh,
15 seconds for my story.
Sure, yeah. I'll hit you with that real soon for sure.
Yeah, make it story format.
Okay, yeah, vertical. You got
15
it.
secs.
Awesome.
Thank you and your team, whoever's there, man. Thank you guys.
Absolutely. Have a good one, man.
All right.
Peace out.
Man.